The Billionaire Who Lived Like a Beggar. In the heart of a bustling city lived an old man named Yusuf, dressed in torn clothes and worn-out sandals. He sat near a roadside tea stall every morning, sipping a small cup of tea slowly, his eyes distant, watching people rush by. Most passers-by assumed he was homeless, some pitied him, most ignored him, and a few mocked him. But what they didn't know was this: Yusuf was one of the wealthiest men in the country. He owned massive real estate, tech investments, and global companies, but he chose to live like a man who had nothing. Years ago, Yusuf had been just like any other ambitious man. He built his fortune from scratch, worked 18 hours a day, and rose from poverty to become a billionaire. But somewhere along the way, the success brought arrogance, and the wealth drowned his humility. He forgot the people who helped him, looked down on the poor, and believed that money equaled power and value. One night, after closing $1 million deal, Yusuf took a walk. He saw a beggar offering half his bread to another hungry man. That moment hit him harder than any business failure ever could. He has nothing, but he's still giving, Yusuf whispered to himself. He couldn't sleep that night. He started reflecting. Despite everything he had, he couldn't remember the last time he had smiled genuinely, helped someone without an agenda, or felt peace. From that day on, Yusuf began an experiment. He stepped away from his companies, turned management over to his trusted team, and adopted the life of a common man. No luxury suits, no private cars, no expensive meals. He ate simple food, wore basic clothes, and lived in a small rented room. Every morning, he sat by the roadside tea stall, listening to people, helping quietly, observing humanity. Not a single soul knew who he truly was. People around him changed frequently. Some mocked him, some offered coins, some treated him like he didn't exist. But a few, a rare few, offered kindness without expecting anything. There was a young boy named Ali who worked at the tea stall and always gave Yusuf a full cup, even when Yusuf paid for only half. "You remind me of my grandfather," he said once with a smile. There was an old woman who brought him bread every Friday. She never asked who he was. "Sharing keeps us human," she said. Yusuf started secretly funding Ali's school fees. He paid the old woman's medical bills anonymously. He bought blankets for the homeless during winter, never revealing the source. After 3 years of this life, Yusuf decided to visit one of his companies. No one recognized him. Security stopped him at the gate. "Sir, we don't allow beggars inside," the guard said. Yusuf smiled. "That's all right," he replied, and walked away. But the moment went viral. A young manager recognized him later from an old photo. News spread. "Billionaire found, living as a beggar." It made headlines. Reporters chased him. Businessmen offered him awards. TV shows begged him for interviews. But Yusuf refused all attention. He wrote a single public letter. "I've spent half my life making money, and the other half understanding what it can't buy. I lived with everything and felt empty. I lived with nothing and felt full. Wealth doesn't define you. Character does. Kindness does. Humanity does. If you want to be rich, give more than you take." Today, Yusuf's story is told in schools and leadership seminars, but he still lives in the same small room, drinks the same tea, and sits by the roadside stall. And every morning, he greets Ali, now a young man with his own small business, with the same smile. Because Yusuf learned the greatest truth most billionaires miss. You are not rich by what you own, but by what you give.